Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson, the bad boy Bern Podcasy, and our guest today is the one and the only Oliver Assiran. You can find all our stuff and all our content in all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can have us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Benoit Pahoud-Cassay, how we feeling, my man?
Feeling great, man. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Very nice. Jalen Derb, how we doing, brother?
Feel very good.
Good. Well, speaking of feeling good, this
Happy
is the work.
to be back.
Speaking of being back, this is the Work Perspectives podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, Benoit, take it away.
Let me tell you a little something about our guest here today. All right. He's a man about town, a real jack of all trades. He has worked in healthcare. He has made films. He has owned comic book stores. He is a father. He's a lover. And man, he gets skinnier every single time I look at him. Oliver Assiran, looking good, my man.
Very nice. Oliver, thank you so much for being on. Honestly, Burns told me a lot about you. And when we did the pre-show, I was like, holy shit, this guy's got a great story. So I'm super excited to get into it. So really want to dive in. But before we get started, Oliver, I want to say thanks for coming on. I'd just like to ask, what movie do you think is better? The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
Godfather Part 2.
Eat it, jdub. Eat it.
Oh,
Eat it.
Never met someone who likes Godfather 1 over God. It's like liking Empire over A New Hope. You know, I guess there are people out there who do. I just am usually surprised when I hear that.
It's crazy. It's not a fair comparison at all.
What you're saying like Empire is better than A New Hope. Is that what you're
correct?
saying?
It would be liking Alien over Aliens,
Yeah.
right? Like Aliens is obviously the superior of the two. Aliens, great got to watch it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like liking Mighty Ducks over Mighty Ducks Part 2. You know, come on.
impossible.
D2, the Mighty Ducks. Come on.
That and Karate Kid 2. Those are the great sequels.
Wow, Karate Kid 2 with the thing.
Yeah,
with the thing.
Chosen.
So very nice. We got a couple more questions, Oliver. Cheetos, crunchy or puffy?
Crunchy.
Love it. God, you're batting 1,000. Now this is the big money round. Here it is. Okay, Oliver.
Man,
Wings. Are you drumsticks or thighs?
drumsticks.
I'm just gonna go.
Did we
You don't
just
need me
fall
here.
in love? Did we just fall in love?
100%.
You
just go.
batted a fucking 1,000 on that one. Wow, 3 for 3.
666.
Let me just comment on all three of those, which is first, obviously crunchy are better. They just have that good snap to it.
God damn, you're
Like
right.
plus you get ones that are like real razor thin, but you also get that like treasure one that looks like a baseball bat that you get
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
pull that guy out and you're like, and when you were a kid, you might even pretend it's like Bam Bam's Club or something.
Dude, yes.
Great. And then I already forgot your third question.
Oh, wings
Flats
are
or drums?
No, wings. Yes. How can drumsticks are by far the superior. You can dip it and in one pull, meat's off.
done.
Scooby-Doo style. Put it in,
Done.
pull it out, no meat. That's
Done. Yeah, same. Wow. Oliver,
All right.
I knew I liked you.
I'm
I knew
best friends already.
Yeah, I knew I liked you, but now I love you. That was incredible.
Thanks.
Wow, I think he's the first person to get all three correct.
I believe he is.
Yeah, and you just admitted that all three were correct, Justin. So what the fuck are you even arguing
Not
about?
correct, but you understand. He's the first person to say all three on one side of the line.
Yeah.
Tim obviously likes Godfather.
No one says Puff.
Yeah.
Mongoloids
also a
like
Puff boy.
Godfather too.
And Bern, which one Cheetos? You aren't a Puff guy, right? You're
I'm the
No,
only
I'm
Puff
a
boy.
flats guy. I'm a flats guy over drums guy when it comes to chicken wings. I'm a flats guy.
Justin is the
J-Dub
only
and I are both
Puff.
flats guys.
Can I
He's
ask
the only
why?
Puff.
Just out of curiosity.
The flats is a much more sophisticated piece of the chicken. Much more. Barbarians eat the drumstick. The flat separates and gets dipped and goes whoop, and then we have a clean
God.
blown. I flick away,
It's
and
like
I
a
dip the other one.
soggy-
I go whoop, and I flick it away.
soggy
If you're getting
Jesus.
shitty flats, then yes. But I'm not eating soggy flats.
They're all, I mean, dude, it's all cartilage. The skin is all soggy no
The
matter
drumstick
what.
has so much fucking cartilage. It
Not
has a
even-
knot. At
You
the
have
top.
two cartilages on the end, and sometimes
does the
the
drum,
little
but
You
knot-
have that knob that's always
Yeah,
super
but
hard.
you have that
Like the
weird
least
cartilage in
part of the
between my
Soft
meat.
meat. That's
When you
sometimes
hold
the
it.
best of all the meat on the drumstick is when you get that little.
the little hard
That
gimmick
little
on
chunk
top.
to be
Oh, it's the
soft.
best.
Disgusting.
That's the number one part. Like if
Yeah.
you find that, you're happy. You're like, oh, I got a good one.
Yeah. So when you guys want to grow up and eat wings like
Agree to
men,
disagree.
let me know. Third question or another question. I thought of this the other day, right? So I got a phone call from a number that I didn't know, right? But you know how
Okay.
sometimes it'll say like scam on it. You don't
Sure.
answer that, but sometimes it's just a number you don't know. Who knows if it's a scam or not, right? So I was thinking, I was like, if I were to answer this, who would I want it to be? You know what I mean? Right. So like if you were getting a phone call, like in my mind, I thought this because I mean, everybody knows I message Jocko Willenick every morning at 3:30, letting him know that I wake up an hour
Good
earlier
outfit.
than him, you know? So I would be
Yeah,
like,
brother,
yeah, well, dude,
there
that's
must
it.
be discipline.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, one of those things. But either way,
I love that guy. I'm quoting all his stuff. Have you heard his songs?
oh, Jocko Willenick?
Yeah. Have you heard Kira the Don? He remixes his podcast. You've never heard this, have you?
Cure the Don? No.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna open your mind right now, dude. So if you like Jocko, you probably like Joe Rogan also. And Akira the Don takes those podcasts and remixes them with techno beats over it and makes songs out of Jocko's podcast. It's unbelievable. So if you really want to get all of that stuff I'm quoting to you right there, it's like all of what Akira has broken down is like his main messages. There Must Be Discipline is called a song. Discipline Equals Freedom. His album, the Jocko album's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I've listened to it a million times. So if
Yeah.
you like him, check it
Yeah,
out.
I will check it out. I'll have a link in the description. Nice. But either way, so my thought was I message him every day. And if I got a call from a number I didn't know, it's somehow he got my number and he's calling me to tell me how great I am. Right. So if you were to get a phone call like that and answer a random phone, who would you want it to be the most?
That's a pretty easy question, actually. There's one guy I would love to call me, and that would be Howard Stern.
Wow.
hell yeah.
Great answer. Dude, I
I
listened
love it.
to the Ben Affleck interview he did. It was like
Amazing.
great interview. Great. Dude, Affleck's an awesome dude. He's a fucking boss. But
That
dude,
interview was so fantastic.
So good.
He really broke it down, especially his divorce and like how that
Oh.
emotionally hit him. It was really well done.
dude, and I had no idea how much like getting the snub for Argo. Like he was so fucking bent out of shape about that. I was like, this is fucking great. I mean,
He should have
he's-
been.
Yeah,
He
he
was
should.
right to be. They won
Dude,
Best
he-
Picture.
They won Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best like another one. So he's like it's the Best Director, right, or something. So he's like everything.
No, he didn't know because he
Oh.
directed it. He wasn't
Okay.
nominated.
Yeah, that
So
was
they won three. They won like Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best something else.
cinematography, I think.
I think you're right. And he's like, so the only thing missing was the director and the lead. So what's the fucking message there? He's like, he didn't even get nominated, you know? So yeah. No, he was
Pretty fucked up.
He was the bomb in Phantoms.
Oh,
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
you fucking right, dude. But yeah, no, he was talking about like all that shit, dude, and like he goes into depth about Good Will Hunting and all that. So good.
Have you listened to Stern for years?
Yeah. So, quick story about that. Where I grew up in New York, in Pelham, it's right like Westchester, Bronx, touch each other right there, right? And the kid who went to my school's name was Tim Chiasano, and if you're a Howard Stern fan,
I know Tim Chiasano.
Instantly you should know his dad, who's Tom. Tom Chiasano and Penelope, his wife, were like the very cool parents in the area. So they had just hired Howard. We would listen to him on our walk home from school on WNBC. And then he got fired, and he went to K-Rock, and Tom came there. Tim moved halfway through third grade into town for Howard Stern in this job, and he's like, "We just hired Howard Stern," so I got to meet him as a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
wow.
I've been listening to Howard since I was 8.
Dude, dude, that is so right. I would love a conversation with him. And also, as far as interviewers go, he is incredible. Like when you listen to it, incredible. Go ahead, Justin.
Who's your favorite whack packer?
This is going to be controversial. Bobo. I love Bobo.
Steve from Florida.
I love Steve from Florida.
Dog, if I got the chance, I would beat the shit.
Richard and Sal are my favorite whack packers.
Sour's Sour's is fucking unbelievable. Sour, I want you to go to jail for this.
I have a Richard and Sal signed photograph, and I saw Wolfie at Comic-Con once, and I didn't even see him. I heard him, and I was like, "That's fucking Wolfie," and I got a picture with him. It was very cool.
I don't know if he's considered a whack packer, but Ed Torian is hands down my favorite man who's ever been on that fucking show. And if
You're gonna tell the truth now.
Yo, when they would make him sing songs, yo.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I am a big Howard. I listen every week. I could.
I don't anymore.
I could. I even
like
he's off the air right now, and I listen to his like specials while he's off the air. It's been part of my life for so long. It's just habit now. I just wake up. I'm like, oh man, let me see if there's some Howard left to listen to. Like even as a kid, I'd download it the second that like LimeWire and shit like that came out. I started downloading the shows.
Do you remember watching it on E?
Oh fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah, dude. That was like when you were a teenager. You're like, holy shit, Playboy titties. Like, oh my god, the best.
Come home from a party on Friday night or Saturday night. You and your buddies are in your basement drinking a beer. Like, yeah,
it's like 1 a.m. Yeah. Dude, I listened to. He did a Stallone interview. This is probably like 2006. Because Stallone, honestly, he might be a guy on the phone, for me. He's like the everything. So, dude, if Stallone's interview was great, but yeah, man, I don't know. Dude, I remember so that good.
One. It was for,
promoting Rocky Balboa. Yeah, he was promoting Rocky.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Yeah.
They used to have Frank on all the time.
Oh, Frank's the man, dude. Dude, Survivor was massive. They had like 2 or 3 number 1 hits. Eye of the Tiger and No Easy Way Out. That's all Frank, baby. And if you're in the first one, the guy's singing around the trash can where he's like, take it back.
Yeah, sure.
That's Frank Stallone.
No
You
shit.
guessed it.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So Bern,
is all Rocky fans here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. There are some people though who really do not like it. I'm like, how can you not like Rocky?
Yeah, well, they're fucking shooch bags, whoever they are.
I would agree with that.
What, Bern? Who do you want calling you?
I would like a phone call from Julie Newmar in 1966 saying, I need you to get over here right now.
2 on
That's what I
2.
want.
Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I would want. Yeah. The one of the original Adam West Catwoman.
I was about to ask you, what do you run over there dressed as?
Going over his outfit.
I go in there and do my best Burgess Meredith. I go there.
Oh, the penguin.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocky, shout out.
But yeah, 1960s Julie Newmar awoken something in me that's never gone away. All these years later. So I'd want to call I would want a booty call from Catwoman from the past. I'm not going to church it up. That's what I'd want.
Love it.
I like that too.
jdub, who you
I have thought of so many better answers while I've been sitting here, but the first thought that popped in my head when you asked the question, and I'm not even sure why, but Bob Barker, yo. I'd like to hear from Bob.
Barker.
I want to know that he's doing good. I want him to tell me that he's proud of me for all those days I didn't go to school and we spent time together. And I just want to make sure he's doing all right. I don't know where Bob is. I don't know what Bob's up to, but I would feel better knowing Bob's all right.
I would like to talk.
It
to
would
Bob
be wild
Uecker.
because
Yeah,
you'd
and
recognize
you know the voice
right away.
immediately. You'd be like,
Right away.
hello? And he'd be like, hey, Justin. I'd be like, this is fucking Bob Barker. And he'd be like, yeah, I just want to say thanks. I'd be like, I spayed and neutered all my animals, yo. I ain't fucking slip up once, yo. Like, well, thank you very much.
I love the Bob Barker. It's perfect.
I don't know
Ooh.
why, but that was the first fucking name that, and I would change my answer to Stern after I heard your answer. But like, Bob Barker popped in my head first for some reason. It's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Do you think he's lost his timber?
Oh, of course he did. I seen him in they made a documentary, and I was like, oh god, that's what he looks like.
I saw that doc. What was that?
It was about a guy who like knew all the fucking prices like off the top of
Oh,
his
right,
head,
right, on Netflix.
and he went to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
30 shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched that one. It was good.
I felt so bad when he showed up on there. I was like, oh fuck,
I
Bob
was like,
Barker.
Bob's 100. Yeah, I was like, Bob looks like he's in pain.
Like if I had the opportunity to live forever, as long as I didn't get older, I would gladly take that opportunity. But
The host of Price is Right.
but just to live for the rest of the but yes, also that. But to see someone get old like that, like I want to be like, I don't want that. I'm good.
I don't know what the exact number is going to be, but like, that kind of old where people just always look surprised. Like, I don't ever want to get old enough where I'm always surprised, even if I'm not surprised. Like, whatever that age is, I'm good after I always look shocked about whatever is happening.
I would hate to be the guy that always has to, like, when they talk, be like, well, and make like the noise with their mouth. I don't.
That's your thing.
I don't want.
Yeah.
That. I don't like that. Not cool.
Maddie, you'll pull the trigger before you start making mouth noises. I know that about you.
Oh,
Yeah. So okay. So kind of got off the rails there, but I love it. So let's get back to it. So also, I guess I'll have to cut this. But have you guys thought about who you want to do for your impersonation episode?
No.
Oh. Did you not get
Not
that
yet.
text, bro?
I got the text. I'm
Okay.
like, what impersonations can I do? I have a pretty good Shannon Sharp, but I'm pretty sure that's not culturally appropriate.
You could do that.
So,
Who gives a
Shan
fuck?
Sharp. I can do Bernie Mac.
right.
You were just, I mean, just
I used to do them on.
Bob
I had a couple I
Barker.
did on stage. I used to do Coke deal with Bernie Mac, Puke and Rally Nixon, and
Yeah, what was Puke and Rally Nixon?
It's literally one line. I go. It's if Nixon threw up and he comes out of the bathroom, he goes, Nixon's back.
That's really
it's
good.
the same joke with the Brian Johnson at the DMV. It's the same thing. You just scream in a British accent like you don't know where to go in line, and then Australian accent. But the Coke deal with Bernie Mac goes on for a while. It's like, you got $20 to $15 for $20 bag of Coke. You can't get a $15 bag of Coke for $20.
pretty good.
Terribly racist.
I mean, who knows? Come on. Might not be. I mean, either way. I mean, if Bernie, I don't know. The way I want to, I mean, well, that'll happen when that'll happen. Who do you have an impersonation you can do, Oliver?
No. I was trying to think if there was someone I could get. No.
You do a
No,
bad
I
Editorian, yo.
Yeah, I can do an
Get a thing, get a damn dance, shake it up.
That's about it. I can do my dad, Can't everybody do one of their parents in life? Like,
I always do my mom. Be like, Matthew, I'm your mother. Okay? I'm your mother.
everybody has one.
Yeah. I was thinking of doing a Jimmy Stewart or a Tony Clifton. Well, sure.
Well, you've had Tony Clifton in the bag for 15
Clifton.
years.
Named after man's respect. I love Tony Clifton. Big fan. Big fan of the
That's
Cliftons.
pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do that to Bern all the time at work. I just walked up to him and be like, Tony Clifton, named after man's respect. I'm all right. Yeah, that was my Clifton.
I do a shitty John Frusciante
Who is John Frusciante?
from NFL Films.
Oh, I could do good Harry the Callous. Long
Harry
fly
Bradshaw.
ball. Hold on, do yours.
Terry Bradshaw worked through the Dallas secondary like a surgeon. His first incision, an out route to Lynn Swan. This is the best one ever. Ready? This is from Artie. I got all this from Artie too. Shout out
Artie
I love
Lang.
Artie Lang. Yeah. They said the Titanic was unsinkable. They said Randall Cunningham was unsackable. The Titanic hit an iceberg in the mid-Atlantic Ocean. Randall Cunningham hit a linebacker from Newark, New Jersey. It's about Lawrence Taylor. So fucking good.
Dude, I used to, or God, I loved when in the movie Beer League, me and Bernie used to do this all the time too. Now
Number one.
batting, number one, Needle Dick, number
Needle
one.
Dick. Needle Dick.
I could do a good long fly ball, deep right center field, home run, Jimmy Rollins. That was pretty good.
See,
I mean,
my Shannon
should
Sharp
be there,
impression is
yeah.
not that great. It's
What are your
basically just going like, yeah, it's basically going like, well, yep, now, okay, now, yep, now, hold on now, yep, now, wait, let me tell you now, yep, okay, now, hold on now, yep, okay, about LeBron and Skip, okay, now, Skip. That's pretty much
Dude,
it. It's the whole
that
impression.
reminds me
Love
of-
I
it.
say Skip a bunch
You
of
are
times.
fucking doing that. Oh,
Do you remember the
I'm
old?
not gonna have much to say.
Remember the
Don't
old
have to.
buzzard from the Looney Tunes cartoons? It was like a buzzard that would
Yes.
hunt Bugs Bunny. And go, no. That's what that
Nice.
reminds me of. And I like it.
I mean, all of them can come up to the impersonation episode because I'm just going to do it.
Oops.
All right, fuck it. Let's get back into this. So, okay. Oliver here, he was born in Framingham, Massachusetts, lived there till he was 7. And like he said, he did some of his formative years in the Bronx in Pelham, New York. In New York, Pelham 123, John Travolta, shout out.
Fan of the show, listener to the show.
This is, yeah,
John
for sure.
Travolta's not in that movie.
He was in the remake, Pelham 123.
I never
wasn't he?
seen the remake. I only seen the original Walter Matthau.
Oh,
Walter Matthau,
shit.
fan of the show.
Oh, Walter Matthau, fucking fan of the show, listener of the show. Love Walter Matthau. God is the fucking best, dude. The best. Yeah. Fucking Boilermaker. Anyone better? Okay. So either way, I want to talk about this. So, you know, we've all lived in a city for a little bit in Philadelphia, but New York, it's a different level, right? The borough of Brooklyn is 4 times the size of the city of Philadelphia. So the Bronx itself, I believe, is bigger than the city of Philadelphia. The Bronx is massive, right? So what was it like being like a kid on the streets growing up? Like, cause you were there from 7 to 14. So that's a lot of like playing outside, playing outdoors, sports and activities, and like with your crew of friends. Like, what the hell was that like? Also, you worked at a movie store when you were 9 years old.
I did. Well, yeah. So there's obviously a story behind all this. So Pelham's like right in Westchester, but it's like I said, Bronx, Westchester attached right there. So where I lived was all Italian and Jewish. Like, there was,
Mazel.
and there was like one of the kids in my class was the head of. He was the second in command. His dad was the second in command to the Lucchese crime family.
Ooh.
Like, he had the best birthday parties. There was like an actual roller coaster. They bring a jumping castle, Ferris wheel. Like, he had a whole fairground set up.
Damn.
It was awesome. But living in New York at that time was a lot of fun. Dude, we were on the streets all the time. We would go down 4th of July, get fireworks, have firework fights out in our front, on the street in front of our houses. Our parents would watch.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Dude, that is great. What was one of your favorite activities, do you think, besides the fireworks fight? Did you guys have like, because I know for us, right, it was like, we had our crew. So like, hey, are we playing, one day we're playing football. Everybody's playing football. Or one day we're playing baseball or wiffle ball. And some days we would box. And some days it's, we never did soccer, but some days it's manhunt. Some days it's capture the flag, all that kind of bullshit. Like some days we're, it's WWE in the front yard, whatever. But we're always like, it's a crew coming up with stuff. Like, what kind of shit are you guys getting into? Is it kind of similar to that, or you have like a twist?
No, man, we did all that. Kick the can was a big one. Loved that.
Shout out, fan of the show.
We would play a ton of football come the fall, and baseball. New York's a baseball town, dude. Like,
yeah,
Philly is a
back then.
Yeah. But New York is in 1986, Mets in the World Series. I was a Red Sox fan in New York.
Oh,
it was awesome.
Yeah, man. Dude, you do forget that New York is 100% a baseball. Like, don't get me wrong, they got a good football, like they do football there, but yeah, baseball is number one. You're right. That's crazy. Because down here, football is. I mean, don't get me wrong, Phillies are big, Flyers have a big following, but football is king, and there's no question.
When you come to Philadelphia, like when we moved here, the first thing I noticed was like people bled green. Like that was it. Eagles were the thing. And I was such a big baseball fan, and I was like, took a right turn going football. And it's total different vibe than that. Like when I was a kid in New York, we used to take the subway on Saturdays and go see double headers, like, or you go down to Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium, just watch the game all day. Like it was so much fun.
Oh yeah, you're right there. How close were you to the?
Not far. I mean, it was a long time ago, but it was only a subway ride, away.
That's nuts. And even as like a kid, your parents are like, "All right, here you go. Here's your Metro card. Just jump on the subway, grab what the fuck you want."
And the 80s were a different time, dude. It was okay to let your kid just be out.
Yeah.
Like there was there was an entire summer where I tried to not wear shoes, and because I had seen like a documentary where, African dudes' feet were as tough as shoes. So I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
And I decided I wasn't going to wear shoes all summer. I was in 4th grade. And I would like sneak out of my parents' house in the morning with shoes on, put them in the garage, and then go the whole day with no shoes. And my parents never caught on because I was out of the house until, eventually one of the Italian, it's Jewish and Italian mothers. What do you think? Eventually one of them was like, "Do you know what your son's doing?" I came home and my mom's like, "Are you not wearing shoes?" Like, she's so pissed off. She's like, "You gotta wear fucking shoes and African strong feet." Like,
everyone's gonna think you're homeless. You want to be a homeless boy? You wear your shoes, Oliver.
The list of things I thought I had to tell this kid, putting shoes on was not one of them. I didn't see it coming. My mother would be not. I don't think my mom would be mad. She'd be like, "Can you wear fucking shoes? What the fuck?"
Yeah. Bern, what were you gonna say?
Parent telling your.
I was just gonna make a joke about tetanus. Yeah, I was like, no one noticed it, of course, until my pinky fell off, and then everyone caught on.
Yeah, dude, I remember.
But I didn't say it because it wasn't that good. So thanks for bringing it up, Matt.
You got it, pal. I remember one time I was like seeing this girl, and we like if we were at her apartment, but if you went out the door, it locked, and if you didn't have the key, like you were fucked. So it locked. So I had to like hop this fence to go around back and like climb up. So I hopped the fence and I landed like on a nail, and the nail went through my shoe into my foot, and I was like, "Ew." You know what I mean? And I thought I had tetanus, but turns out I was okay.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
I have one brother who has dirty Irish Hobbit feet, and I have another brother who, to nothing else in his life, despises feet and despises on top of feet dirty feet. And these two kids would sometimes be on the same bed playing Super Nintendo together. And the one kid would have, I swear to God, he was like you. He like didn't want to wear fucking shoes. I don't know why.
Is that Bradley?
Yeah. He has big red Hobbit feet. Ugh. And they're dirty right now. I don't know where he is, but they're dirty.
Yeah.
And my other brother Spud hates feet, and on top of it hates dirty feet. And the friction that you could cause, I'd be like, "Touch bowl with your feet, yo." Like, I spent so much joy in life with a man who didn't want to wear shoes.
Love it. Yeah, nice.
Does anybody really like shoes?
Yeah, it's free. Grounding is a big thing now, where people believe that you should walk around on the ground with bare feet to feel the earth through the bottom of your feet. Asian people have a big thing about absorbing toxins out of the bottom of the feet.
I try to wear flip-flops pretty much as possible. I hate shoes. Even to this day, it sticks.
I'm rarely without socks. Just I'm always feet. I'm with Spud. Fuck feet. I'm not a feet guy.
Yeah. The pandemic kind of ended my sock. Like I just stopped wearing socks during the pandemic, and now like I was like, why have I been doing this? Well, I don't need these. Like even in the winter, I'm just like, I don't care. It just ended. I just stopped wearing. That's pretty much all that happened over the pandemic. Nothing bad. Just gained 12 pounds and stopped wearing socks. That was about it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I hate socks. I'm 100% with that. If I could go through life, it's just too cold in Philly, dude. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Probably I could take Orlando weather and move it to Philly. I think that all that.
Yeah, how
about like 30 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, dude, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming soon.
It'll be coastal sooner or later.
Yeah, we're gonna be a beach town before you know it. So, Oliver, what I mentioned that you worked at the movie store.
I did.
So what you were 9, and also shout out video stores, man. I fucking miss them, dude. I loved going to the movie store. Loved it, bro.
It was the best.
The best, the fucking best. They had the huge the huge cardboard cutouts. I remember there was one of the Sandlot. love that, dude. Like they were so awesome. You could go out. Sometimes your dad would be like, okay, you get to pick the movie tonight. All right, what we going with? Oh, okay, Hocus Pocus, you fucking students. I didn't know my kid was a queer. All right, here we go. Batman. No, but
straight.
yeah.
I'm gonna go check out the movies back there real quick.
But,
Every time we go to the video store, my dad would end up in the porno section. Dad's going to this movie.
Yeah, Dad's gonna go in the adult section. Go over there, check out the cartoons. All right. Yeah.
It's but he would every time. He liked it back there. So yeah, I worked at a video store as a kid. Lots of fun. Look, I was a latchkey kid. This is the 80s. So
Loved it. The best.
I would come home and I was fucking scared. My sister was at she's 3 years younger than me. So she was still in preschool and I was a little kid in a house in New York by myself. It was scary. So I would ride my bike to the video store or my skateboard. And I would just sit there and watch the movie that played on the TV until my parents came home. And finally the guy was like, if you're going to come here every day, I'm going to put you to work. And he talked to my parents and I would hang out there till about 5 o'clock. And then I would go home and he'd put me to work and, yell at me to do homework and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Dude, that's nice. You'd have you rewind all the movies. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. And what the best part of that was I got to rent anything I wanted for free except for new releases. And my parents were okay with me renting like rated R. Yeah. So I would watch, Nightmare on Elm Street. And we went through every Kung Fu and every horror film that place had multiple times.
Dude, I loved as a kid, right? You would go like we had like over 1,000 movies. My dad had he was crazy about movies, right? We had a ton and ranging from everything, not a lot of horror, but like everything else, right? And I remember you would get a movie that say Rookie of the Year, right? Like Rookie of the Year, maybe you didn't see it originally, but a year later you're like, oh fuck, Rookie of the Year. All right, let's go. So you grab it, put it in, and then it has the previews that from a movie that had been out for almost a year. I loved seeing, looking back, the previews were fucking awesome, you know? Because you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot how great this movie was. Yeah, we're going to watch Braveheart after this. You know what I mean? What the fuck? But, or Richie Rich, you know what I'm saying? But it was I miss that shit, dude. I miss it, man. Movie stores. I mean, if you could open up, how would you open one up now? You know what I mean? You could come in and be like, all right, stream it.
I had one of the last ones in Philly that, funny enough, became my job later in life. I owned a video store, two, as well as comic book store, one in West Philly and one in South Philly.
Yeah.
The one in West Philly was Video Library.
Okay.
It was like a art house video store.
What year was it?
I bought it really in 06. No.
So you were right on the edge there.
Must have been 05 maybe, or a little.
So Netflix was right on the climb. So you were right before the streaming, which really fucked you.
Until the final one closed, I guess, probably 2015 or 2017, something like that. I sold the comic book side to two guys, and it was around for a long time. But I guess we had it with videos and everything for about 5 years, and then it was that, man, which sucks because we went from making a shit ton of money, right? Saturday nights, your receipts would be $10,000-$15,000. I was like, I'm rich, bitch. This was great. And then all of a sudden, I'll never forget it. It was the Super Bowl of 08. And I was watching it.
Bern likes that Super Bowl.
And we were watching it, and I was like, Hulu. Fuck. We were in, do you guys know, do you still live in Philly, you guys?
Yeah.
So do you know where Naval Square is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had, the big house in Naval Square, the big front house that's, it's got all the balconies in the front.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We had a penthouse there. So we had a balcony apartment on the 3rd floor. It was just a 1-bedroom. It had, we had a steam bath in there. We had it was awesome. It was fantastic. Private parking. It was great. And then within a few years of that, I had sold even my car to keep the stores going. I was it was just gone.
Bro.
And I made mistakes. I hired bad people. I was a young guy.
Yeah.
I trusted kids who I thought were better than they were and all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's a bummer though, man. Dude, would you go to a place where you could walk into a store and like instead of having the movies, they would have like where you could stream it, right? And you could but like the other thing, it reminded you like you could walk up and down the aisle of like different genres in alphabetical order, and you could be like, whoa, what's that? And then you look on the description. Like, what if you could go to some place with your phone and then hit a QR code and it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe that could work.
I bet you anything in the future, there will be stores of nostalgia, right? Like,
yeah,
straight up, you're paying almost like an amusement park, but not like you're paying to have that nostalgic feeling. Like at some point, the video arcade will make a return, right? Like people will be like, fuck it, I want to challenge people, like see them. Or what do you think will happen? Do you think there'll be like digital mining? Like people will be like, oh, this Facebook account from 2002, I've discovered Bern Podcasy's Facebook account. And like, you know what I mean? Like a 200 years from now, when Bern's way gone, like that's instead of like, archaeologists, we have internet archaeologists, and they'll find like old Facebook accounts and shit like that.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. It'd be like, I found this fossil. It's a picture of Bern Podcasy dressed as one of the guys from the Wet Bandits.
No, but it is interesting to be like, you want to go back and research someone like historically. And now, like, if someone on this podcast ends up doing something great or something horrific that goes down in world history.
We're already doing that.
In a couple 100 years, you'll be able to look back and be like, oh man, we could start seeing like the shit that guy was talking when he was like 17. Like not the stuff that got published, just like his general day-to-day thoughts on MySpace or Facebook or Twitter, or here's what he was in. And like then you piece together the history of like the guy who, I don't know, releases the disease or cures it. Dude, either way.
Like, did you ever get like the message from Facebook where it's like, you posted this 12 years ago, would you like to, what I mean? God, I had one the other day. It said something like, I don't know, God, Aaron Andrews is a yes, or something like that. Or Andrea, who's the bitch that does the NFL?
Andrea Kramer?
Andrea Kramer. I was like, Andrea Kramer's a yes. And I was like, I don't know why I posted that on Facebook 12 years ago, but it did.
Everyone was dying to know if 25-year-old Matt Lavelle would bang Andrea Kramer. I think he did the world a service.
Rachel Nichols is a yes.
Rachel Nichols is a yes. Dude, I don't know what it is, but I've been like, I guess it's in my feed on Instagram, but I get a ton of Latino weather women and woo, baby.
And I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah, and they get a follow from the Working Perspectives podcast every time.
Forecast for today, muy caliente.
If you open up my Instagram like search thing where it'll make suggestions, mine will be like food places and redheaded girls. How does Instagram know? Like, how does it know that I like redheaded girls and delicious food? But
and take out food.
Mine's all ethnic big ass. If you look at my search,
mine's all goth chicks.
Really?
Love them, yeah.
Really?
I just met you, but still, just by looking at you,
Is your girl goth or former goth?
No, I don't. It's a taboo,
Yeah.
It's not a thing I would ever actually participate in.
Right.
Maybe given the opportunity once, you might experiment.
I just want to pull in a septum ring,
Okay, keep it moving. So
imagine yourself, I'm dressed as a vampire, like going to one.
I'm not gonna dress like that. I'm gonna dress the way I dress, and they're gonna dress with their blue hair and
all of
talk
the
about. I mean,
frills.
low self-esteem and daddy issues. Like that is your bread and your butter, baby. That is the place you go. Goth chicks, yeah. So okay, let's keep it moving. So you left New York when you were 14, and you moved to the illustrious Ardmore, Pennsylvania. You were there for 3 years. Yeah, you went from Jewish and Italian to Jewish and Jewish. And so you moved down to Ardmore on the main line, and you were in Ardmore for like 3 years, and then you got sent away to juvie for 2 years. So are you cool to elaborate on that, and how was juvie?
Yeah, sure. So I got in a little bit of trouble at high school, and that ended up getting me arrested. My parents were not happy, and so I had to do something to pay for what I did, and the judge gave my parents the option of this school out in Oregon, which was not a good place to go to. It has subsequently been shut down for abuse. They say the dark ages of that place, and I've watched the interview, was from 88 to about 98, 99. I, of course, went there from 92 to 95. So
you were in the heart of the dark ages.
In the heart of the dark ages. And, you know, later in that place's existence, when the internet came out, I think the things they were doing got a lot harder to hide, right? When we could communicate with each other and tell you. But at the time, you know, there was nothing, you know, they monitored everything. Like if you made a phone call, there was somebody standing right next to you. Well, a phone call, even at home, was a privilege. And if you got that privilege, someone stood next to you with their hand ready to hang up the phone if you said anything.
Really?
I'm not happy. Click.
Wow, like they're hurting me. Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then you're getting boom.
Oh yeah. That you would be in big trouble for that.
Was there any like sleeper scenarios going on?
Yeah, I mean there was some staff members that you knew to stay away from. For sure. Yeah, there were people that, like, if they invited you to their cabin for tea, you might want to run the other way.
What?
It you know, it was not yeah, there was that sort of stuff. There was a couple of them. Girls, there were girls there too, and there were guy counselors who were just not. We recently, a bunch of us got together and we were joking about that. But not for the most part. I think like there were people there who were there for the good, right, you know, or they thought they were there for the right reason. You know, they were trying to help kids. Yeah. But there were people who were not there for that reason, for sure, who were just evil bastard fuckers, you know. Yeah, and so I was there, you know, for a little longer than I probably should have been because I kept escaping. How
would you escape?
3 times. The first time I just walked right off. No one
like walked off the property?
Yeah. No one paid attention. I had just gotten there. It was like a weird.
What was the game plan? You were just like
Prineville. And Prineville was the next town over, and to call my girlfriend at the time, this girl Jen, and ask her to Western Union me enough money for a bus ticket. When I called her, she was sleeping because it was, you know, 3 hours later, East Coast time and all that. And she's like, call me back when you get to the bus station. And I never made it to the bus station. So
what, they found you?
Yeah, I mean, Prineville's not a big town. So a guy walking through it, it didn't take very long.
And you were wearing like the school's like, or the
uniform type
so they were like, all right, well, one of them got loose. Call the fucking school.
And so I went to the local juvenile detention facility there for a few days, and I begged them to let me stay, but they wouldn't, because that was so much better. Like,
really?
Yeah. Well, there you're just watching TV, smoking cigarettes. All like, you know, it's not crazy group therapy. It's not what I, you know, it's a lot different. And
it's gonna make sex with you there.
Yeah. And then the second time I made it to Portland, and I was gone for like a little over a week.
What you planned like, all right, I'm gonna get here, I'm gonna get on the bus, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so I had no money, of course, but I was hoping to get to Portland. I made it there. I was gonna get a bus.
How did you get to Portland?
I hitchhiked, and the first fucking guy who picked me up was like, I'm going to Portland. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I got there. He prayed over me when he let me out. I went to Burnside Bridge, which is a skateboarding park. I ended up sleeping there. And then 2 days later, I was fucking starving. So I called my mom, and I was like, can you Western Union me money? And they hired these guys. They called them escorts, but they were like private investigators that would hunt you down. And this guy found me like a day or two later. You know, I went and got the Western Union, and he went to Burnside Bridge, and I had told everybody my name was John.
Yeah.
My name's Jonathan. And he was like, hey, Oliver. I was like, yeah. And he's like, we can the easy way or the hard way. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, the easy way is you come with me. It's like an 8 or 10 hour drive from Portland back to, you know, the Ochako National Forest.
What?
Like, We can stop at a hotel, get pizza, I'll buy you beer, whatever you want. You know, you could smoke that joint, you got whatever you want to do. Or he's like, you run, I'll catch you, I'll hog tie you, I'll throw you in the back of the car, and we'll do the whole drive today. And I was like, easy way, brother. Let's go.
Still a hard bargain, old man.
I had already had fun too. Like I had enjoyed life for a few days. I was happy about it. And then the third time, I made it to Bend, which is a local town. I got caught within a few hours. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Like I got sent to this wilderness program called Seuss during that, which is like, if you were bad there, they sent you to a place that's worse, where they didn't feed you and made you hike all day for like miles and miles. It was really bad, but I actually kind of liked it. I learned how to do like bow drill, and like you didn't, every fire you made yourself, like out of bow drill or flint and steel. We had no sleeping bags. We slept in like wool blankets out. Luckily, I was there in the springtime, but there are people who went during winter. It's really cold, and they'll make fires and put coals underneath the ground and sleep on the coals.
Wow.
But yeah, like I got out of there and I just said, you know what? I'm not fighting this fight anymore. Like this is, I give up. I surrender. And I said, I'm just going to flow. I had a very good friend named Josh. And he was like, listen, man, just stop swimming upstream. Like just fucking flow. They can't change what you think inside. Just think your own thoughts, and then there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel to get the fuck out, and it's over.
Yeah. Do your time and go. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people there after they've left that just are
a mess.
They're dead. Like a good portion of them are like, they just can't.
It was like the beatings and the abuse and like all of that like tied into one.
I think so. A lot of people just can't handle it. And I just decided, and there are a bunch of people I still talk to who also decided, look, I'm not going to let 2 years ruin the rest of my life. And I'm just going to accept that happened, and like, what can you do, and like move on from it. And I choose to remember a lot of the good times. There were some, I was in the fucking middle of the Oregon desert. Like we got to do rock climbing. So they were constantly looking for ways to keep us amused and not killing each other. So like, I got to do cool outdoor shit that you would never think to do. Like even too, so like getting to fucking make bow drill fires and like, Flint's like that. Where else are you going to do that type of shit? It sucked at the time, but it's cool to have done it.
Can you explain what a bow drill fire is? Is that like the two pieces of wood and the string, and it's like okay. All right. Nice, dude. That's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you learn how to do that. There was a guy I knew who could do hand drill, which is 2 pieces of wood and he rubs it with a hand, and he got it done. It was amazing.
Wow.
I could not do that.
Well, fucking Jesus, man. You're not
Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
You're not Chief Longfeather or anything. Golly. So
you get hungry out there, like really, because all they feed you is rice and lentil beans. That's it. So in the morning you get like a handful of granola, nothing in the afternoon unless we killed something, like if we saw a rat or a snake or something like that. And then at dinner time, we had rice and lentil beans, and if you're good, you could earn bullion cube, and you'd put that in there to make it. So we were like hungry all the time. I remember seeing cows because we're out in the desert of Idaho, and I was like, I wonder, because they give you a knife, like that you get a knife. On you because you're not escaping. And me and my friends were like, I wonder if we could just like kill that cow.
And butcher,
fucking butcher it and eat that fucker. And the like instructor with us was like, I don't even think about it. And he's like, he was like, he could read our thoughts there. And we're like, what? And he's like, you don't see them, but there are guys out there, and you'll go towards their cow.
Yeah,
that's that.
Yeah, that's to them that's $20,000, and to you it's a fucking steak. Yeah, so
that's cattle rustling right there. That's cattle rustling.
I would love to do that.
Take kindly to that.
I would love to be like work on a ranch, like a cattle ranch.
I used to.
They make it look cool in the movies. Go ahead.
I used to wrangle the silver buffalo.
Yeah, you did. He was a cart boy at the grocery store. Yeah,
wrangling the old silver buffalo.
So okay, right now something's gonna happen, Oliver, and it's gonna change your life. Now it is time for the Jalen Dubs question segment. Jalen Dub, Justin Richardson is going to have some questions for you, Oliver, and you can choose to answer, and I hope you choose to, because they're going to be great, and we love this segment. It's a new segment. Jalen Dub, take it away.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse scenario or a lone survivor, like you're the last man on earth kind of thing?
Ooh, good question.
You want to wake up alone or wake up in the world in chaos?
Alone.
No zombies? And no, you're just going to be fucking your hand forever? Like, what the hell?
I have a feeling that I've watched a lot of Last Man on Earth.
Same.
There's somebody out there. There's somebody out there, and who knows? Maybe it's
No, we're not ruining that show again by adding characters every goddamn season.
What was that blonde chick's name? She played Emma Frost. That chick. She's that. If maybe it's her.
January Jones.
January Jones? She was there. She's in that show.
She is.
Hmm?
God, January Jones, baby.
So I'm waking up alone.
Dude, January Jones, X-Men First Class.
So good.
Booyah.
First class.
Great job. Bern, what are you? Zambi or Last Man on Earth?
No, I'm in the same vibe. I would rather go Last Man on Earth. I don't want to I'd rather be lonely than have to kill things every single day that are trying to kill me. Like I'd figure out something. I feel like over enough time. There might be somebody. Like I said, there's probably somebody there somewhere, and
Dude,
I got nothing else to do. So
you could end up like 5 from the Umbrella Academy and fall in love with a mannequin.
Yeah,
Like,
and just do drugs forever.
Yeah, I'm willing to take all those risks.
I mean, I'm a Zambi
I just don't
guy.
want. I don't want to have to just be like murdering all the time.
Can you murder?
It just
something
seems
that's already
exhausting.
dead?
Well, whatever. I still have to fucking fight it. It's still
All
trying
right,
to bite my
okay,
face. Like
okay.
Yeah, you're not
I'm a
taking
path of least resistance guy, Matty. You know?
I would really like if I am in the zombie apocalypse and I know guns are gonna run out. I would like to be really good with a spear because I feel like
Katana
too. I mean, but the spear gets you more distance. You know, you can get a little further out with a spear and.
could sharpen the ends of it too. I've seen those movies.
Yeah, like a double ender.
Like a sword. You know,
Yeah. I mean, ideally, I'd like to have the Darth Maul lightsaber, but
yeah, I mean, ideally, yeah.
Ideally,
in a perfect zombie apocalypse world, we all have Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Okay, great first question, Jalen Dub. Go for the second.
First of all, I just want a regular lightsaber for the record. I would delimb myself so fucking fast with the Darth Maul gun.
Oh, baby.
I'm delimbing with the Reggie boy. The Darth Maul were just accelerating it so much faster.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I'd get nice.
There's no way you
turn it off and turn it back on in between forearms, and I'm not ready for that.
Who is?
It's still one of the things too. I never understand why they don't they still haven't answered this question of why don't Jedis ever turn off their lightsaber and then turn it right back on. So instead of blocking a blow or striking a blow,
just let it go through.
It's wild.
Just turn yours back on again
and just get it right back on. It's kill shot, but
yeah, that's
anywho.
It'd be my first move. But if you could have dinner with a dead person you never met, who did you pick?
Shit. Dinner with a.
It's basically eliminating like any of your family for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
Like
I've never met
any of those queer bag answers. Like your dad or something. Come on. Go ahead, Joe. Go. Sorry, Oliver.
I actually met him. No. I would if I could meet anybody.
Same. I could say my dad. She's a dead person I've never met.
Has to be a dead person?
Yeah.
All right, dead person you never met. Go ahead, Oliver.
All right, that's a hard one. Shit, I don't know.
Newt Rockney.
I don't even know. For some reason, I can have dinner with this person anytime, anywhere, whenever. For some reason, Linda Ronstadt came into my. I don't even know if she's dead. She may be alive. But
Lenny Ronstadt.
When she was at her peak, I wouldn't mind having dinner with her that night.
Whoa,
just getting the rundown from her.
Yeah, you get the happy ending.
Hang out. Yeah, look, Bern's scenario earlier had that to it. So if we're making our own rules, then I get to have dinner and a movie with old Linda.
Young Linda Ronstadt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That came to mind.
Baby. Yeah, Linda Ronstadt for sure. Great shout. Young Lenny Ronstadt. Benoit, who you doing dinner time with, baby? Wait, Linda Ronstadt was in An American Tale? Is she the sister? Huh.
I don't know.
When you said Linda Ronstadt, I was thinking of, do you know who Linda Tripp is? The lady who was like Monica Lewinsky's like personal. That's who the fuck I thought you were talking about this whole time until right now. I just Googled Linda Ronstadt. I was like, that's not the lady who helped Monica Lewinsky. I thought you were talking about Linda Tripp this whole time.
I don't know that she helped Monica. Didn't she tape Monica Lewinsky? And then
I don't know what the fuck. That's
why she helped her. I think
until
she
right
set
now,
her
that's
up.
who I thought Linda Ronstadt was.
No, but she is alive, so I guess I broke that credit. I'd still have dinner with her.
That's fair enough.
If you look at the album to the greatest hits, with that button. Yeah, and she certainly is not shy. So
Linda
like,
Ross.
like that about Linda.
Yeah, she seems like a great time. You kidding me?
All right.
Break out some of the boogie sugar and fucking do it up, baby.
I got a couple quick boys just to run through fast. Who'd you rather fight?
Hold on. Bern,
You
who
say
was
so?
your hold on? Bern,
Who you went to dinner with?
Yeah, Bern, who was your dinner?
Nice the goddamn questions around here.
Sorry,
I'll go with Red Auerbach.
Nice.
Let's
that's
talk
a
to
good
Red
answer.
Auerbach.
J-Dub, who's
Yeah.
yours?
I mean, Norm just died. I'd like to have dinner with Norm.
Okay, Norm from Cheers.
No, Norm McDonald.
No.
Oh,
McDonald.
I'm a fucking
Norm from
idiot.
Cheers is alive. Is he alive? I don't know if he's alive.
George
I believe
Wendt,
he is.
I think his name is
George
Yeah.
Wendt, I believe
Yeah,
he was.
I'm going with John Wayne. That's who I'm having dinner with. All right. So sorry, Justin, I interrupted you. Please continue. Next question, please.
Who'd you rather fight, Brian Gumble or Dan Rathers?
Whoa!
I got a bunch of these.
I would fight Dan Rathers.
You don't
I'm
want to
co-
take a shot at Gumble?
No, I just, I've been hearing Dan Rather's voice on Stern lately. They've been doing a guy who's an impressionist of it. And I want to hit him every time he does it.
Why not go right to the source?
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck Dan.
Bob Costas or Skip Bayless?
Oh, Skip Bayless.
Yeah, all right. I'll do Skip.
Now Skip. Now wait. Now Skip. Now hold on. Now Skip.
Shannon Sharp on the show. Hey, Shannon.
Mr. Rogers or Bob Ross?
Whoa, Bob Ross. Fuck him. Knocking him the fuck out. Mr. Rogers, I don't think he was a World War II vet. I think that was defunct, but I still like to believe that he was.
And plus, I think Bob Ross would be able to put up a fight. I think I'd feel bad beating the shit out of Mr. Rogers.
I would love if Mr. Rogers would snap your fucking wrist. That would be so great. This guy,
Stone cold killer.
fucking yeah. But
He's
Bob
evil as
Ross,
fuck.
I'd knock that fucking fake fro right off his
I
head.
think Bob Ross has some anger inside. You just see it when he talks. Like he's just ready to snap.
Yeah.
Like I'll put that tree right up your ass, motherfucker. Like
So hold on, you're doing Dan Rather, you're doing Skip Bayless, you're doing John or Bob Ross. Okay, keep going.
Cosby or OJ?
Oh shit. Cosby wrestled for Temple, FYI.
I'd probably beat the shit out of Cosby just because while OJ is a murderer, that's all he did was murder once. I think.
Cosby did a lot
maybe-
of good things in like
Maybe
58
maybe
bad
twice.
things.
Maybe twice. Yeah. Well, two people, but
Odds point to twice.
one time, right? Like one.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know that he is. Whereas Bill Cosby's the worst serial rapist probably alive. He's an awful human being. So I got to beat the fuck out of him.
Jerry Jones or Nick Saban?
Jerry Jones.
I beat the shit out of Jerry Jones too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Vince McMahon or Papa John guy?
Oh, Papa John. Vinnie Mac's whooping your ass.
Guy. Yeah, and Vince McMahon would probably still whoop my ass. You're right.
Yeah. Didn't you see him at Mania? He's still fucking yoked.
Yeah.
Even though he can't fucking move, but he's still, dude, he's Vinnie fucking Mac.
Yeah.
Vinnie
no.
fuck Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
And
I want to see his
John
fucking.
guy is like a fucking psycho ass
He's a total noodle.
in a cage. Like, nah, I'm not
He's a
good.
weirdo.
So that's
All right.
one more. We got one more.
Nope, that's it.
All right.
Bonus, if you have anyone you randomly you'd like to fight as a celebrity, you can shout them out now. Challenge.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. I'll throw him in there too. I'd like. To
Woody Allen.
Yeah, I'd fuck him
I'd
up.
love to fucking knock the fuck out of Woody Allen. He just fucking annoys the fuck out of me, man.
And he doesn't seem like he's a good guy.
Yeah, didn't he fucking date a 12-year-old or something? Like, fuck off, Woody. Fuck
Soon
To be
off.
fair, it was his stepdaughter.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
But without Woody Allen, you don't get any Wood Yee. And you know,
No.
That is true.
if you listen
You
to
don't
Stern,
get
Wood Yee is
the,
fantastic.
I remember like pulling into school like 16 years old and just spending a whole week just being like, what was the line? Like Sun Yi has rice and sex for breakfast, I believe was the initial like just crushing of Woody Allen on the Stern show. But yeah, that had a nice with no Woody Allen, you miss out on a lot, like a couple good years of Stern work.
It's weird to fuck your stepdaughter, and it's weird to marry her many years later.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Deal.
We can all of us all here
I'll co-sign.
stand in
There's
solidarity.
I'm out of fucking your stepdaughter. I don't think, unless it's in one of those pornos that's out all the time now. But I mean, not that
I
I
mean,
want.
those are the best because it's like it's a stepson and then it's his stepmom who's like 6 years older than him that married his dad like a year ago, and the dad's never home, and his wiener doesn't work, and and she's got no gag reflex. Rena Sky is all I gotta say. Rena fucking Sky.
More and more specific. It's
Rena
the
fucking
37th
Sky.
page on Pornhub.
We're really narrowing down here.
8th video down, 37th page.
The stepson's 30, and he's like somehow never dated a girl, and the stepmom's like, I know, let me teach you how tonight. Look,
Your girlfriend's really cute. You wanna be able to take care of her, don't you?
right.
Yeah.
Let me show you how you're gonna do it.
Rena fucking Sky is all I gotta say. Check her out. Thank me fucking later. Rena fucking Sky.
Next
So,
Fan of the show, listener to the show.
fan of the show. Okay. So before we get back into it, I wanted to shout out your wife, Oliver.
Yeah.
She has an album coming out soon. Is that right?
Yeah, she just put it out. It's called Mercury in Retrograde. It's
Awesome.
on Spotify's, Titles, YouTube's, you name it, it's out there.
We'll have links in the description for it. And what's her artist name?
Kate Assiran, same as my last name, obviously.
Kate Assiran.
Assiran, there you go.
Okay.
Kate Assiran, and I'm telling you, she just opened for Langhorne Slim, which was a big deal.
Very nice.
Brand in York, right before he was in Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he sure was.
She opened up for a guy named Cousin Curtis at 118 in Wayne a week or so ago, who was really, really good. Yeah, she's starting to, play on XPN and stuff like that, and get more airtime. So please check her out.
Dude, no, awesome. Yeah. And we'll have links in the description and for everywhere to check her out, dude. Kate Assiran, super awesome stuff, man. Awesome. And then also you have an actress that you're working with that we want to shout out as well.
I do. My daughter is an actress at the Media Theater. So check out any of their performances she does there. And then I'm also making a movie. Bern, I'm making another one.
I know you told me, you and Sandra, right?
Yeah, it's called Chatbot. I wrote it with my friend Sandra Wade and another guy named Joe. It's a short. Sandra Wade is one of the, well, I don't know, I guess maybe I shouldn't give her out. She's one of the great models out there, fetish model, but she's putting out a movie with me and him, and this guy Joe's directing it, and we'll start principal at the end of June.
Dude, fucking awesome.
Where's where you based out of now? Where do you shoot at?
I'm in Philly, so we're gonna shoot it all out here in Philly, in Drexel Hill, probably.
Dude, I would love it if Philly became like the London or the Atlanta where they shoot big fucking movies at. You know what I mean?
Me too.
A movie? You need extras? Yeah, I'll be in a movie.
Yeah, you guys are Philly, right? Why don't you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll text you for sure.
Hell yeah.
Extras.
I play a great
Second guy from
Dory
the
detective with like a cool Indiana Jones hat, or like anybody who needs a bullwhip.
Yes, we need an Indiana Jones looking detective in this movie.
Looking for an Indiana Jones type.
Anybody?
So yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for it.
nice. So I kind of want to get into that. So after you got done, you in Oregon, you came back, you kind of are picking yourself up. You would graduate school and everything like that. You would go to Cabrini College and Full Sail University, where for people who don't know, that's where NXT is filmed. And then, you would kind of like, you would bounce around a bunch of different jobs doing, bartending, working at a pizza shop, owning the comic book store, like you said. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about is like the movie industry as a whole. So you've done a lot. You're on IMDb, which is fucking crazy. Right. Dude, that's fucking making it. You're on IMDb, but you're in, like, you've made movies. To me, that's like, it's crazy how like everyone watches them, everyone sees them, everyone's dreamed of doing that, I think, right? Everyone's dreamed of making a movie or being in whatever. Right? Like, it's a common thing, but you've done it, and it's a process that's so interesting and takes so much. So can you kind of like go through it with us, like start to finish? Like, you get an idea, you write a script, then like can you just give us the whole rundown?
Sure. Yeah. So my first movie I made with a guy named Les Norris. He was in a pretty big band called Against All Authority in Radio Baghdad in the Florida, Orlando area. But that process was different than the second time. I wrote, directed, and produced the second one myself. And I'll say from idea, which I had while I was at Full Sail, to production was probably about 4 years, just writing the script, rewriting it, putting it down, picking it back up, writing it again. Then I brought it to a guy named Brian Majeska, and we wrote the final version together. It was good. I found once I brought him in, ideas, he brought fresh ideas, a new look at it. I had been so close to it for so long, and he started making notes and saying, why don't we add these things? Why don't we change this? And it just started flowing better. And, the story started coming together. We probably spent 7 or 8 months working. We were both projectionists at the Bryn Mawr Film Institute in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. I was the first manager and projectionist there. And
Nice.
Brian was the regional director of the chain of movies, which of the chain, it was only 3. So he would come and hang out with me, and we would, string up films. And then once you were done doing that, unless you had to build them for the next movie coming in, which was a Thursday night thing, we had all this time. So we would sit there and write the script together and just work and talk, bounce ideas off each other. It was great. Then, principal photography happened pretty quick after that. Now, this is in the early 2000s. So we had.
Wait, hold on. So you did the script and everything, right? And then what? So it goes script to principal photography?
Yeah, for us, well, we had to hire a bunch of people after that. I mean, we had to hire a director of photography. We had to raise money. So we went around to every person we knew, friends, family. My mom invested, her friend did, but truth be told, even though IMDb says we had $75,000 budget, start to finish, I shot the whole thing for under 15 grand.
Nice.
So yeah, we had huge locations too. So we had Woody's, the nightclub, was one of the locations, and I was pretty dead set on getting Woody. So the guy who owned it at that time was a guy named Bill Wood, and I went in there just randomly. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna walk in on a Tuesday afternoon. And I'm going to say, can I talk to Bill Wood?" So I walked in, and I asked a transgender bartender if she knew Bill Wood. And she was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to him. He's in." And I pitched him what I wanted to do. I was like, "Look, I have no money, but, we'll buy food off you, but you're closed from, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning till about noon the next day. And if I could just have the place for free from those days for a week during those time, I'll buy food from you every day, $100, $150 worth and whatever." And he was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Fine." I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can use it. I'll let you do that. Fine." And
did he make you buy the food, or you just did that anyway?
Some days we only bought it a couple times. But he was really cool. And so that bartender, her name was June, and she was in a pretty big Philly band. Forget their name now, but anyway, we left, and she was like, "Bill, you have to stick to this," because I guess he was we left, and he was like, "No, fuck that." And we ended up giving her a part in the movie, and she's the bartender in Woody's.
Nice.
But we had a bunch of big locations like Philadelphia Zoo. We guerrillaed that shit. Like, I was just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go in." We shot at Jolly's Piano Bar.
Wait, what do you like? You just show up and you're like, "All right, get the camera out, let's go."
Yeah, we walked in and we had the camera, and they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's a video cam. We're here to just,
Shooting a family film.
Yeah.
Shooting family stuff. Yeah.
And I just put them where the actors where I wanted them to go, and we shot the scene. Yeah. Used a bunch of restaurants, a lot of locations in Philly. So just, and what we would do is, I would have guys stand on either end of the street when we were shooting and just block it. And we got really good at being assholes, until the cop showed up, and then we'd run off. But
what?
Yeah.
So, all right. So hold on. Okay. Script, you write. Then you start to hire people. Why do you need a principal photographer and a director of photography? What is that?
We just a director of photography. So you want a guy who can light your movie. I feel I'm a decent director. Like, I can see my shots and the vision I want to do with it. But, someone needs to light that correctly so the actors look right. If we were in a nightclub, you wouldn't want it to be looking like a bright sunlight outside. You want it to look like a nightclub, dark and dingy and all that.
So wait. So the director of photography is responsible for lighting the sets and lighting the scene?
Yes.
Oh, so they're not taking pictures, they're setting up the lights and shit. Why are they? Okay, I mean, I guess it has to do with photography. I don't know why they're called. I mean,
you can call him a DP too, if you wanted to. But
DP, huh? Arena Sky again.
No, but yeah, we hired that guy. A sound guy is obviously very important.
Yeah.
So we had a really good sound guy. Although we kept switching them because they'd get hired for a big production and we didn't pay much. So they'd be like, "Oh, use my friend. He's not working right now." We had like 4 throughout the movie.
And like do they bring their own equipment, or do you have to supply they bring their own?
They bring their own stuff. That's part of it. You rent a whole.
Do they have like the boom and like the whole gimmick, and they just record everything you say and give you the recording?
Yep, right onto a DAT. And that's how that works. And then the big part is principal photography is fun, dude. Shooting a movie is fun, like you would imagine.
Yeah.
People are making jokes and it's crazy, but also a lot of fun. It's post-production that's slow and tedious. So when you're done shooting the movie, you got to edit it.
Yeah.
When you shoot it on a Canon XL2, which is what we used in 2006 to shoot it, which at that time was a digital video camera that shot 34 frames a second, which was the frame rate of a film camera. So it looked sort of close. They shot 28 days later on. And but you have to get that all color correct. So we had to, you edit it, and then all the scenes have to match. The colors have to match. So we color corrected, and all that costs a lot of money, and it takes time.
How do you color correct? I mean, like
you bring it to a guy, and in my case, I was really lucky. I had a guy who said he would do it. His name's Rob Giulio. He's in bands in Philly. He was working for a company at the time that he was about to leave. And he said, "Give me $1,000 and I will do it from 6 p.m. till like 1 o'clock in the morning for the next couple of weeks." And that's what he did.
Wow.
Yep. Listen, a lot of luck, man. Like a lot of luck came into making and then distributing.
So screenplay, you hire people, right? Then you shoot it, right? And you need the DPs there to get the lighting. You got the sound guy with the mic. You got a cameraman with the camera, right? And you're sitting back like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Action. The actors say their gimmick, right? After you get all that done, the actors are done, unless like did you ever have to have them come back and redo shit?
Yeah, so we had to do some ADR. There's like, no matter what you do, there's going to be sound takes that just don't sound right. And, ambient noise, we were an indie film. So, we're going to have cars and horns honking, airplanes, whatever you don't want.
Yeah.
And so we would bring the actors back in and they would re-record their dialogue.
Okay. So it would just be the audio they're re-recording, not the video stuff. Oh, I see. Okay. And that's called ADR?
Yep. So they'll match the audio as they talk to them, It's fun to do, you see it, and I would fuck with people's, like I would do their voices and stuff like that, just mess around. But it's we had to do a lot of that because we just didn't have the budget to shut down Philadelphia like I wanted to.
And you had like makeup artists and stuff like that?
We did. That also was expensive because one of our characters got a black eye. I'll never write anything like that in a script again. They had to have it for the rest of the movie.
So you had to give them, the makeup had to be at every scene, every shoot.
Yeah. And he was
wow. And how do you set up like a shoot? So you're like, do you have like storyboards or what's the deal?
We storyboarded everything out. And the way, the smartest way, obviously, it's why everybody does it this way, is if you're shooting, let's say you have 10 scenes in an office, right? Your character goes to the office on day 1, day 7, day 10, of the script, right? Let's say the script takes place over a month. You're obviously not going to shoot the script chronologically. You're going to shoot everything in the office that day. So we would change wardrobes. Sometimes he'd have to have a black eye. Sometimes he wouldn't, depending on where we were. So you try to do everything with the black eye all at the same time and everything without it.
So you get the script, right? And you pick like, you see like, okay, there's 5 different locations in the script. right? So you know, like, okay, we have to set up 5 different locations to shoot. We need 5 different places. We'll need 5 different days, and we'll need to do X amount of scenes at each location, right?
Yep.
And so what you put? What's the storyboards are just like you put up like what you're shooting on a thing.
Yeah, they look like little comic books. Like we draw the characters in and what they're doing. Ours weren't all that fancy. It was stick figures and you know. But,
it's more just like a guideline of like, okay, we're doing this, and doing this, like a playbook almost.
On your day. So every day we say to the actors, okay, we're shooting these scenes so they can be ready for what they're doing. You know, the wardrobe that you need to bring. This is the thing, you know, we would break it down. But this was a very do-it-yourself movie. Like everybody helped. All the actors helped. If you were in the movie, you produced wardrobe, you did a lot of stuff. Like you wore many hats. And almost everybody in that movie has gone on to do bigger and better things far beyond I could ever imagine. Jeb, who played the character of Chainsaw, he was just in Mayor of Easttown. He was the guy who kidnapped the girls.
Oh,
and he has the gun in the
in the bar, right?
Yeah, he lives in that like abandoned area, and they're in the room in the back, and Mayor finds them.
They're hitting the pipe and shit.
He shoots the partner and all that.
Yeah.
And then
spoiler for anyone, but it's been out for fucking months, so fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Nick's gone on. He was the lead character, Keith. He's gone on to do a ton of movies in LA. You've seen him and stuff, believe me. Lots of horror films. Even the little guys in it. The guy who played this character, Chester, that I really like. Griffin has gone on to do a ton of stuff. The girl who played Margaret was in Serendipity. One of the girls in it who played Ursula or Helga, she's one of the lead girls on QVC. You see her all the time.
Oh, wow.
It was. They've all gone on to do, you know, bigger and better things, far beyond my sort of Kevin Smith knockoff movie.
Still, dude, that's fucking awesome. So I guess when Kevin Smith shot Clerks in black and white, it's because he didn't want to pay a guy to do the color matching or whatever it is.
No, I think 16 million. He shot on film, so film, no matter what, is always going to be more expensive because you're shooting, you know, rolls at a time. TV, you're going through tape after tape. It's a lot cheaper to shoot on. Just different format. He shot 16 millimeter. I shot on video. But I did shoot my first movie on 16 millimeter, and we made that for less than $5,000, and it was sold to a tiny company out of Tempe, Arizona called Brain Damage Films. But horror movie buffs like love that movie, and I'll still get it.
It is illustriously has been named at times the worst movie ever made.
That is true.
People have uttered that, the worst movie ever made, which Oliver wears with an absolute badge of pride.
I love it. And it has been called the worst movie. There was an entire podcast actually dedicated to my movie and how bad it was. It was called No Budget Nightmares, and they're still out. They're still pretty big, actually. And they did an entire episode on Gorno and how fucking awful it is. I will tell you, I was listening to it while I was getting my master's in education, and I was sitting in class. I should have been paying attention. I was on my iPad listening to this podcast, like dying laughing because it is not good. The movie's not good. Like it's really bad. But I mean, I love it. But you know, there's it was two really stoned out guys going, let's make the most fucked up thing we can. Like it'll be really controversial. You know, we'll have a crazy sex, but we'll do also like it's fucked up. I hate to talk about what we do. It's really bad.
But for clarity, this is talking about Oliver's first movie, not the movie that he's just been talking about for the last 10 minutes.
No. My second movie, Flogging Margaret, actually Warner Brothers bought. And I have a movie poster behind me of it. Like it was that I kept saying to myself while we were making it, Warner Brothers is going to buy this fucking movie. Like every day, I would say it to myself. I would think it morning, noon, and night. Warner Brothers will buy this fucking movie. It's going to happen. And they bought the fucking movie. Now, obviously, there's a lot of work that went into that. I had to, there's a big book called The Hollywood Distributor's Guide. And in 2007, you know, the internet was there, but it wasn't what it is now, right? And I bought that book on eBay for like $250. I bought the years before because they're not supposed to technically sell. And it has every phone number, email address, and regular address of every distribution company in Hollywood, what they do. Like, for example, it says, you know, what type of movies they buy, comedy, horror, how big they are, what their reach is, so on and so forth. And I bought that book and I circled I went through all 400 pages, circled every company that was interested in indie comedies. I then I bought as many film packages that people had sent out on eBay, like indie film packages that I could find. I bought Clerks. I bought whatever one I could find on eBay. I bought like their distro package. Like, this is what we're sending out, our promo kit. And I then contacted people who made, if there was an indie comedy that came out in those last 5 years, I rented it, watched it, and contacted those people. And I was like, hey, you know, watch my movie, or just, you know, give me some advice. What can you tell me? How can this work? And I contacted people who got bigger and bigger in the business as it went on too. But, you know, most of them were really cool about it. And we're like, here's, you know, we'll watch it. We'll tell you what we think. And, how you can, you know, take it to the next step. And we ended up sending it to this company called Lightyear, which was indie and Warner Brothers independent side, like almost like Sony Searchlight.
Okay.
Warner Brothers called it Lightyear at the time. And this guy, Arnie, calls me, like, this is flip phone days, right? Like, I have my flip phone, Samsung there, or whatever.
Yeah, your Nokia,
and I got the screen on the front of it.
Yeah, you got a Motorola.
And if I was lucky. And I see this 212 number calling. We had offers. TLA Video had offered to buy it. A smaller company out of California. Like, we had, you know, decent offers, couple thousand, you know, tens of thousands, you know, nothing big, but, you know, we were like, these are nice offers. And we had a lawyer who was Justin Weinberg. We get this call, 212 number, and it's Arnie from Lightyear. And he's like, hey, have you boys sold this film yet? And I said, no, but we have an offer from TLA. It just came in yesterday. He goes, don't sign it. Give me a couple days. I'll get back to you. And so I'm like, holy shit, we sold this to Warner Brothers, right? And I just started dating my wife at the time. So she had to put up with all this nonsense. And we're sitting there, and, you know, he called me on a Friday. So I'm like, all right, Saturday, Sunday, he's not going to call, right? He's not working. But Monday morning comes, fucking pumped. He's going to call today. It's going to be great. Monday morning comes, Monday night comes, he doesn't call. And I'm like,
you're like, fuck me.
Maybe, like, you know, maybe just whatever. It's Tuesday. He's going to call tomorrow. And I went this whole week. Every morning I'd wake up. Every night I'd go to bed like, I should just take the fucking deal. But he said, wait. And my lawyer's like, come on, take TLA. Let's go. He wants to be done with this. And then it's Friday, the next Friday. And it's the exact same time he had called the day before. And I look at my phone and I go, if he doesn't call today at this time, he ain't calling.
Yeah.
And boom, the fucking phone rings. I was looking at it. I'm like, fuck, you know, and like, we answer, put it on speaker, and he makes the offer. And it was a good offer. And, you know, we came back with, you know, a little more, and he gave it to us. Nothing big. We pretty much said, yes, thank you. And it came out in very limited theaters and a few art house ones. And then he put it out in DVD. In 2007, it was at my store, which was cool. And I got to see my movie Rent, and, you know, sold thousands and thousands, you know, if you go on Amazon or eBay right now, you can still buy a cheap, shitty copy somewhere.
Dude, but that's like badass. You know what I mean? Like, you've sold to a major studio. That's fucking crazy.
It was
like,
crazy.
It's crazy to think you had an idea, right? And you did a ton of research on it and a ton of work, right? And you had an idea, and it's almost like a validation of your idea. Like, I know, like, because, you know, I guess, like, the first one, Gorham, right? Is that what it was? Gorno kind of, you know, maybe you took a little hit to the pride on that one, but that was also just like you're fucking doing, like, all those people that shit on your stuff, they don't have the courage to do it themselves. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of fortitude to be able to even accomplish that. So the fact that you accomplished it, And now you did it again and you're able to sell to a major studio. That's a major accomplishment, man. And it took a ton of work and drive to do that. And you should be very proud of that, dude. That's fucking awesome.
I'll tell you the most proud. Thank you. The most proud I ever was with it. There's two moments. The first is the first time I saw the Warner Brothers shield. Like they send you like, when Warner Brothers buys your movie, they send you like a packet and they go, this is what we need from you, right? So for us to distribute it, we need this, and this done. And you're going to pay for it, but we'll front you the money to pay for it from your own money that we're going to give you. So like, right. So let's say I'm going to throw out a number. Let's say they had offered me $100,000, right? Yeah. They said, all right, we're going to give you 100,000, but we need, an audio with an M&E track only. That's music and effects, no dialogue, no nothing, right? We need this, we need that. And we're going to send you this list and we estimate it'll cost $20,000. Get some quotes and see if we're about right. And then they'll send you a check and you went and did that. And that's now taken off your end. Yeah. But we also had foreign distribution. So we were in China, Germany, Spain, Japan. I have like versions of it and all of them. Like I have.
And did you have to pay for the voice actors to do that? Or did that come out of like, that was part of like, hey, we're taking this out of your pay to get this?
So that's why you give them the music and effects version. So when you sell to, for example, Spain is very difficult. Germany is very difficult. When you sell to them, your distribution company asks you for a copy of it that just has the soundtrack and the effects of like Bern walking. Right. So that's it. It's just a straight track of music. No dialogue, no nothing. So when you see the characters talk, they can put any words they want in there. So I've heard it, where my characters are in like Chinese or like Greek, and which is really fucking bizarre. But it's cool.
Fun though, right? Like, do you know who the actors are? You don't have a choice. Like they're just like, look, we needed this guy. He speaks this. Fucking do it.
No, man, we got really lucky. We went with a company called Inferno. They picked us up for foreign distribution, and there's like a film market every year in LA. And Inferno was lucky enough to get a table on the same floor as the big guys in the hotel. So if someone was coming to walk by HBO to buy foreign film, a movie in there, from HBO in China, they had to walk past Inferno's table. So we ended up selling to all these markets. We made more money on the foreign distribution of the film than we ever did on the regular.
On the domestic, yeah.
Yeah, the domestic, we didn't, we made okay money, but like on the foreign distribution, if you're getting some guys like, I'll give you 20,000, then another, say China 30,000, you know what I mean? You keep a couple of those checks isn't bad.
Dude, that's fucking badass though.
Now I own it again, dude. 11 years Warner Brothers owned it. It's all I had. They sent me one day, I just get like a box from Inferno, and then it was like a couple weeks later from Warner Brothers Lightyear, and it was like hard drives from 2006, big digibeta tapes. I have it all now. I have it all back.
Dude, that's cool though. Nice, man. That's crazy too. Like everyone knows the movie, like everybody watches movies and TV and all that stuff, but to get an actual insight of what the business is like, I fucking am so fascinated and interested in that shit. Justin, what about you?
Very.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome. Like Always Sunny is like probably started in a similar way, real small. They shot a pilot and you have an idea, you make it alive, and see all the scenes in Philly and shit. Like I want to watch that. Flogging Margaret.
Yeah. Please check it out. It's occasionally it's on Amazon to stream. Like I bought it for streaming. It used to be on there all the time. Like back when Warner had it, they first had streaming on there. It was on there all the time, but and got many bad reviews. You can definitely get a DVD version of it on eBay or Amazon.
Honestly, I bet I guarantee, Scorsese or Spielberg, none of them said anything bad about your movie, and they're actual great directors. So anyone that does say something bad about it, if they don't have the chops or the credibility on any type of level, then they can go fucking suck hard on some chode. You know what I mean?
You might want to cut this, but Brian De Palma did call it an abortion. I'm just gonna say that's the only bad one on.
Who's Brian De Palma?
You know who Brian De Palma is.
Francis Ford Coppola said it was all right.
Kind of.
I mean, I understood what Franny was talking about. Chicken suck my balls. Like,
Yeah, James Cameron loved it. Though. He thought it was great.
Michael McBay said there was not enough special effects and it was gay.
Speaking of Rocky, do you know what the Steadicam is?
The one on the track,
Yeah,
like
so
the
no,
one on the
that's
train.
It's a harness.
You know in Aliens, the guns the guys have on those harnesses that they use. It's actually a Steadicam rig, and you put a camera on that. And Rocky was the first movie to use it for the jogging scene. So that
Yeah, when he was going up the stairs, right?
jogging through South.
So so they put like they were on like a cart and had his camera on a motion thing.
No, they were in the van, and he sat in the back of a van, and Rocky just ran behind him, and he held the camera. And the guy who invented that, he's the same guy. He's from Philly. He's the same guy who invented the cameras you see at football stadiums on the wires and stuff.
Really?
That's
I used to date a girl whose brother worked with a guy who did those. Like he worked with a dude when because he went to Nova, and the dude, I don't know, I guess he met up with him, but he's like a super smart kid that worked for this guy. But that's fucking nuts. So wait, he did the Steadicam. Yep. And he did the fucking the string cam above this. Wow.
So the thing about a Steadicam is like because we used to use one too. It's like, if it allows like a person to move with another moving person without it being like, if I'm taking steps and I'm holding a camera, it's going to do this. So it's got like it's a harness. It's got a counterbalance on the bottom, so you can move with movement, like any of those. And it's so ubiquitous now, right? Like it's in everything. Television uses it. Yeah. All movies use it.
Our video guy used it when he shot our stuff.
Sure. It's now it's like
Rainbow Road, which is available now on YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Sorry, Bern, go ahead.
But no, it's just like it's something that's ubiquitous now. Like it's just a tool that every single filmmaker uses. It's crazy to think though that the first time it ever happened was some guy sitting in the back of a van, just Stallone jogging just for days.
Yeah, and so they made these little ones, right? They were like Steadicam minis.
But the cameras back then were what, 40 fucking pounds, right? Like,
oh, for sure.
We got lucky. We got to use Garrett Brown's, and he actually came on our set for a day. And we couldn't say he shot anything or didn't. I'm not confirming that in any way, but because he's a union guy and whatever. But he came on the set for the day and let us use his glide cam, which he had invented. And you'll notice that the scene where the two lead characters walk over a bridge in Mania looks like it's shot by a fantastic Steadicam operator. And God only knows who that would be, but right. I remember we had a different guy show up that day who was awesome. Yeah. Some new kid.
Not a non-union guy.
Non-union guy.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Dude. He was very cool. And but anyway, we were really like that's a lot of luck, dude, and a lot of talking to people and saying, hey, give us a shot. Can I shoot in your bar? Can I do this? And I'll tell you, you'll surprise yourself when you start asking people about that stuff, how many people want to help and want to just see their name scrolling on a movie credit. So if you say, hey, I'll put you in the credits, they're like, fuck yeah, you can use my shop or my
Did you ever hear that story about Rocky? So Rocky, the dog Butkus in Rocky, that was Rocky's actual dog, right? And when he was making the movie, Stallone, he had to sell his dog for some money before he could get some money. And the dude he sold it to, he sold it to him for like $200 or whatever, right? And then he goes to the guy, he's like, all right, can I buy my dog back? And the guy's like, yeah, you can buy him back, $500. And someone's like, whoa, I sold him to you for $200. I'm not paying $500. He's like, well, you want the dog or not? And Stallone was like, okay, we're making this movie. How about I put you in the movie and I can get the dog back? And the dude was like, fine. And the character is the janitor at Mickey's gym, Mike, the real short guy. That's the dude that he sold the dog to, and he had like a couple lines, man. Dude, fucking, but think about it, that guy, like how many like billions of people have seen Rocky at this point, has seen this guy, like billions. Dude, it's the Rocky franchise is worth like $7 billion. right?
Yeah, think about that with Creed and everything on top of it. It's insanity.
Oh, and Creed just fucking rejuvenated the whole series. Creed was so fucking good. The first one, I fucking like. I guess there's a tradition in Rocky where he starts every movie off with a fight scene.
Yeah.
Right. So they're in juvie and the kid's fighting and he gets thrown in the hole. And then Creed's wife comes. And when he says, well, what's my name? And then it goes dark and you just see Creed pop up. I was like, let's fucking do this, right? You know, I was so fucking ready to go. But yeah, no, that movie, fucking incredible movie. Incredible.
The trailer for the new one looks badass.
There's a third one?
Yeah, or maybe I just saw stills, but yeah, there's a new one.
No, there's a third one coming.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's
Does he fight Mr. T's kid?
Yeah.
Clubber Lang? Clubber Lang Jr.?
Positive of it.
Oh, man.
I was positive of it as Maverick. Did you guys see that yet? Anybody?
Not yet.
Maverick?
The new Top Gun.
Oh, was it good?
I heard it's awesome.
Yeah, I do too. I heard it's really, really
Bruckheimer, right?
Yeah. November 23rd, Creed 3.
Shit. I didn't know that.
Damn. All right, we'll have to fucking check it out. You know what I do love? HBO Max will put a movie that's released in theaters. We'll put it out on HBO Max right away, and I watched the new Harry Potter weekend.
I'm gonna watch that when this ends.
It was something.
I'm gonna finish.
It's fun.
Oh, I just finished that this morning because I didn't have to go to work today. Stranger Things.
I've never watched it. I watched like parts of season 1, but I never finished it.
So it's funny, man. Me and my wife, like, there's so few shows that we watch together and like have time to watch together. Stranger Things was one of them, and then we got about halfway through the first episode of season 4, and she was like, I think I'm done with this. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm too anxious. She's like, I don't have any time to watch TV. I can't afford to like be anxious when I'm trying to relax. And then I think I watched the first 3 episodes and I was like, and she's not a big like horror fan. And I was like, you made a good call. I don't think they're really leaning into the horror. I mean, you guys are about to finish it. I just started, but they're really leaning into that. Like, it's got a real Nightmare on Elm Street, like 80s horror slasher vibe. And I was like, that's not really your jam. So maybe you just knew. So now, but the good news is now I'm watching it solo. So I can fly through at my pace, which will be great.
Speaking of solo, Bern, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Obi-Wan was good. I really liked Obi-Wan. Oliver called me Friday night when I was at work. I couldn't answer, but I was like, oh, Oliver just finished watching Obi-Wan.
Yep, that's exactly right. Thanks.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. It is so fucking good. So good.
It has such a great cinematic feel to it. It felt like the original trilogy. Like, I don't know, there was just, I don't know if it was the coloring or the light, but like it felt like that
dude,
old school world.
Yeah, dude, that scene with Reva and Joel Edgerton in the town. Oh, so fucking good. Great. So good. And I guess
you're like nervous about it, but you're like, well, no, he's gonna, I mean, we know he makes it, but like,
do we? Well, I mean, like, I know we know he makes it, but does he make it in one piece? Right? Like, we never knew if any part of him was mechanical. Uncle Owen.
That's very true.
Him in the blue milk.
I love the guy that got to play Uncle Owen. He's such a dick. He's so good.
It's the same guy.
He's great. He was, dude. Yeah, I didn't know that either. He was, because he was a no name when Revenge of the Sith came out. But now he's fucking Joel Edgerton. He's been in a million fucking things. He was great. But dude, yeah, nice. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Oliver, are you working on what are you working on currently? What do you got?
Well, yeah, Sandra, myself, and Joe, we're gonna make Chatbot. We'll shoot it in the end of June, early July. It's a half an hour short, sort of horror thriller about a woman who gets terrorized by a chatbot on her computer, and she uncovers all sorts of crazy child sex rings going on, some surprises, some thrills. I act in it, so I'm pulling out some acting chops, and I'm one of the lead characters. But I'm acting it. So,
dude, would I be able to? I don't want to be in it or whatever, but could I come and watch it? Like, watch you do it?
Sure, you can be in it.
I mean, yeah. If you wanted to make it a starring, like you wanted to make it a big blockbuster hit, then I'll be in it.
That's what I was thinking.
No, I would just love to see the process. But yeah, dude, whatever. Just let me know what the schedule is, and I'll make it work because we're pretty busy over here at the Working Pod. All right, we're workers.
Are you guys Nova guys? I'm catching.
I'm got expelled from 2 high schools, guys. So
I went to Monco for like 6 days.
How do you know this Nova grad?
I changed his life at Vinny T's of Boston, aka Vinny Testas in Ardmore, which
Wait a
I'm
minute.
sure.
Where did you guys grow up?
I grew up in the land of the free, the home of the brave, Lanesdale, Pennsylvania, and Justin is from some shithole called North Wales.
Full of Philistines.
I know those places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Lansdale, Doylestown.
Yeah. Yep.
You're Bucks County guys.
We're Montgomery County,
Montgomery.
but we're right next door to Bucks County. There you go. We're not Delaware County, and that's all that.
Listen, don't knock Delco because that's what I am.
Hey, Oliver, where do you live right now?
Dada. You murdered my dada.
I'm in Havertown, proud. I bartend at Brick and Brew, guys.
Where do you bartend?
Brick and Brew.
Oh, nice.
How far are you from Haggerty's?
I don't even know where Haggerty is.
You get fucking hamburgers at Haggerty's.
Why are you so mediocre?
Have you guys been to Brick and Brew yet?
I heard it's mediocre. No,
It's
I haven't been there.
All right. Get a good hoagie.
Yeah, my guy. Thanks, my guy.
Have cocktails. When I first left healthcare and I text Bern because we had worked together, I was like, my new job behind the bar. And I knew you would be back one day too, Bern.
Yeah,
Not
it
a
didn't
bad
take.
gig. I'm counting the
didn't take
days
all
till
that
I'm
long.
back. I know I'll be back there eventually. My wife misses that money that I made. I'll tell you that. But dude, it's just too much. Dude, it gets to be too much. You can't, it's tough working a day job and a night job. You know what I mean? Like it fucks you. It fucking fucks you.
Because the night
Fucks your
job,
body.
no matter what, even when you set limits and go, I'm only working Wednesday and Friday. That's it. All I'm doing. Well, can you do this Saturday? Come on. Can't you do this? You'll make 4 or 5. All right. I'll do this
Tough
Saturday.
to say no. It's tough
And
to
at the
say no.
time, it sounds like a good idea to do that Saturday. You're like, Tuesday, Oliver thought that was a great idea. Saturday, Oliver, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 2 jobs for quite a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm done.
Did you guys ever have the thought of like going into a shift where you're like, God, I wish I could get a call saying someone had died so I can call out? You know, did you ever get that thought? Like, hoping like, God, I don't want to work tonight. Can someone die? And I can call out?
It was when we were at Vinny's, I used to fantasize because we had like mussels appetizers and there were these huge plates of mussels. And I was like, if I just pretended to fall right now and threw all of these mussels in the air and just slow motion, like they rained down on me, like no one would ever suspect I did it on purpose. It would be so embarrassing. No one would ever suspect that I was tanking to get out of work. But that was always, I was like, if I want to have to go, I'm just going to do a banana peel cartoon slip with the mussels and
Dude,
just
just
lay there.
Who
Watch
was
it
the
hit
dude? God, Moxon, maybe? He did it with a tiramisu. It was his last day.
Okay.
And he was like, all right, guys, I'm just going to do a fake fall and throw this fucking tiramisu up and see what goes down. And we were like, what? And he's like, yep, watch me do it. And he did it like right in the middle of the restaurant. It was pretty fucking great.
So it was a hero move for sure.
He was a great dude. Big fan of him.
Yeah,
But
he was a good dude.
Yeah. Nice, man. Okay. So, dude, super excited for the new chatbot to come out, man. Really, really good stuff. We're going to have links for everything you're on, all your socials, links for Flogging Molly or Flogging Margaret in the description. We're going to have a link for your wife and where you can listen to her stuff at. Really excited to get that out there. A link for Sandra Wade, where you can find her at and everything. And dude, man, honestly, Oliver, I was super fucking excited for this one. Burns told me a lot about you. And you like when we had the pre-show, I was like, this guy's got a fucking story. He's got a fucking story. And I know Bern and Justin, we're all usually on the same page, but we would love to have you back on if you'd be willing to come back on the show.
Anytime, bro. That was awesome. Thank you for having me. I would come on anytime.
Oh, thank you, man. So we're coming to the top of time. Oliver, is there anything do you want to say to the Assiran faithful before we get out of here?
Keep that Assiran in your head. Seriously, keep it there because my wife listens to her music. It's really good. Kate Assiran.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. I'm definitely going to listen to it. I'm super excited. Hell yeah. And then, all right, well, very good. Thanks for that. And Jalen Derb, anything you want to say to the Dub Nation before we get out of here?
Oliver, I have a notes section in my phone with a bunch of dumb script ideas. I don't know when you want to sit down together, but I got like 3 or 4. I think we could just bang out.
Can you give us one?
Call my people, and we'll set something up, a lunch. You're buying.
Yeah.
I got a ton of good dumb ideas.
Can you give us one of them, Justin?
I have one about I mean it's not a long description. So the story is based off one time my ex-girlfriend's dad, who was in a suspicious business, called me for a job, but it was the wrong just. It was for painting a parking lot. But long story short, what if it was for a hit? And he called the wrong guy. And I was like, go meet this guy, go to this diner. And then you come back with the idea to your friends. You're like, I've been offered $20,000 to kill this man. You want to do it with me? And so begins the joking comedy of three idiots trying to murder someone for money.
Yeah, I love it.
That's pretty strong, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
I have
like
more.
it a lot.
That's my quickest, easiest one to describe.
No, I like it a lot.
I have a complex one about how two friends, one person's an actual functioning member of society and the other is a non-functioning member of society. And then when the world gets flipped side down, their roles then change, because obviously one person is now built to not sleep very often and doesn't have a routine life, and they now become dependent upon it. It shows the contrast in which society once had people who stayed up late and watched the campsite versus the people who work during the day.
That one needs some work, but the first one was solid. The first one was good. I like that.
I like them
we'll
both.
work on this.
But the second one, like give it a do-over, a little once-over.
Yeah,
It's got to need a rewrite.
nice. Bern, do you have any script
Yeah, Bert, you got any
ideas?
movies?
No, I got nothing to tank right now. Theatrically, just chilling, man. Just chilling. I just, we're gonna wait till like the kid starts crawling before we start thinking about anything, using brain power for anything else. It's just like, we're surviving right now. We're just surviving.
Burns in the survival stage.
We are, yeah.
I know how it is.
There's a tooth happening. Like it's getting real. It's getting real.
Old Toothy.
That
Old
White Rose City.
Toothy. Nice, dude. Awesome. Great. Well, cool. And then Bern, anything you want to say to the Benoit Podcasy faithful?
No, man, just great to catch up with Oliver, my former boss. Always a pleasure. And Oliver, call me tomorrow because I'm with the baby all day, so we'll talk some Obi-Wan.
All right. Yeah, definitely, Clay.
Nice. All right. Well, once again, thank you to Oliver Assiran, jdub, Justin Richardson, and the Bad Boy Bern Podcasy. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson, the Bad Boy Bern Podcasy, and Oliver Assiran. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we keep this party going. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book, but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in Kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in Boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.